Alright then. Hey guys, welcome back to Seven Boys. Number one's routes. This is for his red heart. I think it's the red heart. No, it's one of those. Yeah, red heart, I think. Yeah. Blah, I don't know what to say. His good ending, I think. So we're on day 10. We stayed tonight. He was the adult size in the last part. That was woo. So let's continue on. When I was woken up by the twittering bugs hovering in the window, number one, who was standing in the window, also came to my sight. Good morning, Snow White. Good morning, number one. Every time I close your eyes before going to sleep and open my eyes, every time I close your eyes before going to sleep and open my eyes after I wake up, I will see number one. This feeling is really wonderful. Although they're not the same version. The air is fresh in the morning in the forest. I began to prepare breakfast after I washed my face outside. Although it was still very simple food, number one ate with flesh. When I looked up, I saw number one was staring at my face. What? Snorted. I actually began to feel it is not bad to live here with you until the world destroyed. Number one? It's time to go now, Snow White. Ah. I knew that we should leave, but at the moment my heart was still full of unwillingness. Well, you have to leave, girl. I know. Quite a good girl. Number one and I left the Great Keeper's room and go into the forest again. Number one, do you know the way? Probably. We were around in the forest, and finally when the sun rose to the highest point, we reached the amusement park. When I went into the amusement park, I was stunned. Under the blue sky in the forest, surrounded by trees, these lovely buildings gave people a fantastic illusion. When you said amusement park, I thought it was just a good view of the forest in a state of safe and suitable for playing. Why would there be such a thing? This amusement park was established by me at the time I commissioned a person in the South Island to design an accurate with accordance with the amusement park in the real world. How is it? It is a place which matches this child's world very much. You must have explored a child labor for that. Looking around, I found a large number of children gathered here. Everyone was uneasy. At this time, two familiar figures came out of the huts from the distance. When they saw us, they ran through the crowd to us immediately. Number one is Snow White. Great, you finally came. Number two and number zero. Huh? Number zero? Are you number zero? I mean, we could have guessed. Are you not a girl? For some reason, but it's not the time to say this now. Yes, number one, from the night before to the present, the situation has undergone great changes. The North Island no longer exists. The extent of the deterioration of the situation is far beyond our expectation. Experience the black mist currently spread to swallow the world, from north to south, making all those things die out at the increasing rate of speed. Children in the North Island have begun to migrate to the South Island a few days ago. Although the sky is bright now, after a few hours when night comes, it will be clouded over by the black mist. What should we do? We can only sit still waiting for death? Snow White, why do you think the black mist appears? In my view, this may be related to adult illness. If we see the world as a dream, then live with the disappearance of a child and the world is normal. On the contrary, to come to this world suddenly as an adult like you is abnormal. Adult illness is of course abnormal, but why adult illness exists? I'm afraid that's because when people are half awake, their memories and emotions will become chaotic. Normal and abnormal are also in disorder. Well, wait a minute, what do you mean by half awake? You want to say that this world is a dream? I was just making an analogy. Things are not that simple. Assuming that the emergence of the black mist is because the balance of the world has broken. So what do you think is inside the black mist? The real world. Well, you're really a romantic, but it's not completely impossible. However, most likely it is a world in which consciousness completely disappears, which means the world of death. To get rid of the current replacement, I'm afraid there's only one way. That is to go back to the real world before our consciousness disappear. To my surprise, to go back to the real world is the only way to survive. Yes, but I still have no idea about how to achieve it. Have you ever think about how we can go back to the real world? Oh, excuse me. No, I think it's more interesting here at which I could be king than the real world. It's like what you say. So that explains it. The world's going to be destroyed. Number one and I will die. Don't you go look for the other children. They may be here too. No, forget it. I just want to stay together with number one now. There are and Frank. Number one is also maybe something happened between them. I feel like I'm a fifth wheel here. You better let them alone together. Number one, I sat down on the bench beside the park. Number one, if we didn't die and went back to the real world, would we forget all the things that happened here and become strangers who didn't know each other all our lives? If so, it would be troublesome. If I lost my memory here, I would still have my memory in real life. But if you lost your memory, your brain would have nothing left. Can't you still remember things happen in the real world? Yes, although sometimes I dream of strange scenes in the real world. But I soon forget them after I wake up. It's like my brain is escaping from reality and doesn't want to remember it. I see. Can we make a promise? Promise? Yes, if I can go back to the real world and I can still remember you, I'll find you. So before I find you, no matter how unhappy things you remember, I hope you remember that we had such a promise. There is still someone looking for you, so you must stay alive until I find you. Number one. I said such words. So love makes people stupid means that stupidity is infectiousness. Don't blame anything on me. What do you think about it? If you don't answer, I will regard it as you agreed. Well, I promise you, Anne. If you kept this promise, I will also keep mine. Your promise? What is it? The promise of I'll always be with you. Okay. Can I hold your hand? Although I felt a little bit embarrassed, I still nodded my head. We sat hand in hand together. The passing by children stared at us surprisingly and curiously. The sky got dark gradually, and more children came to the amusement park. The amusement park was crowded with the people in just one afternoon. At this time, a black-haired boy walked in front of us. Adults? Why? There were many children who stared at me with curious and doubt eyes, but that boy is different from them. Who are you? The boy did not answer my question, but turned to number one, who was next to me. You seem to be the head of the North Island Management Agency. I've heard about you when I was instigating in the North Island, although this is only my guess. I think you're the same as me. You had to remember an adult in the real world and became a child. Interesting. Is it you who imprison the children in this world? It seems that you break into the world by virtue of your own will. Thanks to you, I lost control of the children. What do you want to do? To take everyone out? You're acting deliberately. Aren't those people who attacked me sent by you? Do you still want to stop me? No, I will not stop you now. Because I hope you can at least take her out. Number one fixed his eyes to me. Number one? What are you talking about? I do not understand. I need your help. Huh? Then explain the current situation to me first. Okay. Then I will start from the adults of my investigation. In short, it's a world of spirits. Children who live here are humans who are in a coma in the real world because of accidents. In other words, they're vegetables. The longer they stay here, the longer they have lost consciousness in the real world. As for why their consciousness came to this world, although I'm still not sure. I think it's related to their childhood trauma. I was an adult in the real world, but I don't know why my body turned into a child after I came to this world. But you and she are more strange. You entered this world as adults. Our coming have destroyed the regulations in their mind. The darkness spread suggests that their spirits are being devoured. The spread of darkness is very, very fast, and we cannot get through today. If this world is destroyed, I'm afraid that the spirits of those people will die, and they will never be able to wake up from the real world. Wait a minute. Is that what you're saying true? Who are you? I am a doctor. What a cute boy. Like the hair. What? Although according to the situation now, medically we think only patients who fell into a coma less than a year are able to wake up. There are still many people who have never given up. I came here to do a research on pathology and have to awaken someone who is very important to me. I want to solve this mystery. In the real world, there are many people who fell into a consciousness state like you. Although most of them are resulted from brain injuries by accident, I think some of them are caused by mental factors. This state is worse than death. Dead people have taken away all of the pain and trouble, but the vegetables cannot take away anything. They exist, but in fact do not exist. They are loved by others, but cannot interact with others. This is a distressing situation, which is even worse than death. There are thousands of children in total, including children of the South Island and the North Island. I think there are patients from all over the world. If we ignored them, they will never wake up in the real world again. And their families will have to spend all their lives in sorrow. I am also like this? Yes, your friend must be waiting for you to go back. I looked at number one. He was just listening quietly. Number one's family, are they also? We have now found a way. If it is successful, we can take a lot of children out. No, not me. It is the result of a person who also retains the memory of the real world and have worked for many years. Before dark, we will start the medical device which leads to the real world in an amusement park. In these days of investigation, we know that the amusement park has a special medical field and it can use the power supply. When people are gathered in the amusement park, I will use the flute to send signals to the real world, and my colleagues will start their equipment in the real world. Then the only thing is how many people we can take out. After a while, my partner will explain our situation to all of the people. What happened in this world? In addition to the worlds, and theirs is a world where children can grow up. I hope at that time you can stand out. What? It does not matter if the children cannot believe it at once, as long as it is enough to leave such a message in their mind. As long as they have doubt of this world in their mind, it will be helpful for awakening them from the real world. I know. I'll do my best. Thank you. Then we continue to prepare. I will come to you later. I saw the boy went to several children I didn't know. Perhaps they're his partners. It's really interesting to watch your surprising expression. I ain't interested at all. You have already known about these things, aren't you? Yes. You guy. Cheer up. Isn't it good to go back to the real world? What? Why don't you care about it? Compare with going back to the real world, do you still want to stay here? If I haven't met you, yes. Because living in this world has been my meaning of existence. What do you mean? I'll tell you that my parents were scientists and I was just a guinea pig to them. And an experimental place is this world. What did you say? Incredible, if so. How did you enter this world? Do you really want to know? Yes, want to know, girl. They tried a variety of methods, but the last time that I remember was electric shock. What the hell were they doing to you? Hey, Snow White. Why are you crying? Because I did not think you have been treated like this. Is it anything worth of your is it anything worthy of your crying? I do not really understand. Do you think my family members are cruel? I only know that normal parents would not treat their children like this. But they may gave birth to me just for this reason. They abandoned their children in order to make discoveries which are able to change the scientific process and bring benefits to normal people. The process of civilization is always occupied by a variety of sacrifices. Even so, do you think it is wrong? I do not know. I do not understand those things. I just feel very sad. You have really rich feelings. You don't worry about your own situation, but cry for my past. It's like you're making up all of my missing feelings. Because you were talking about your own matter, but your tone was like talking about others. Your indifferent look makes me feel sadder. I'm sorry. My expressions are not as rich as yours. But you do not have to worry. I will leave you alone again. I stayed here and accomplished my mission before. In other words, there isn't anything in the real world that I concerned about. But now it's different. I know you're away from me in the real world, so I'll go back. Snow White, go back to me. To the real world. Then there was a sound of the flute when we were talking. Follow the direction of the flute. I can see a female I've never seen before. Although I cannot see her face, but I can feel that she tried to tell us something. Her voice was heard with the sound of the flute. It seems that she tried to explain why adults and black myths appeared in this world. It's hard to ignore the information since it was said by an adult. Oh, look at the rest of them. I did not know when I was surrounded by a bunch of kids. The boy walking along the crowd while played the flute. Kids from Red, Karma, and the female also followed behind him. Leave here with us. We need to face the reality. Don't hide in this fantasy world anymore. It is fake. Number one smiled and reached out to me. When I took his hand, he pulled me to his side. We followed them and kept walking. At this time, the sound of the machine came from a distance and the ground began to shake. I felt a little nervous, so I held number one's hand tightly. Number one was also holding me tightly. He watched me with a calm smile as usual. This relieved my pressure a lot. Unknowingly, number one and the scenery around me gradually blurred together.